This is the story of Rose, a quiet, lonely widow who had lived by herself ever since her husband died many years ago. She stayed in a small old hut at the edge of the village, the same hut her late husband had built before he passed away. Though she looked like an ordinary old woman during the day, Rose was not just any woman. She was a witch, one of the most feared in the land. Every night, when the moon rose high in the sky, Rose would leave her hut and disappear into the forest, where she joined other witches for their secret meetings. These witches were not kind. Their gathering was always full of dark plans and evil laughter. They would chant, cast spells, and speak of ways to destroy people's destinies, blocking young girls from getting married, making hardworking men poor, and causing innocent people to suffer sickness and shame. That was their joy. That was their life. Rose had grown cold and bitter with time. She hated seeing others happy, especially since she had no husband or child of her own. The villagers feared her but avoided trouble, pretending not to notice her strange ways. Some whispered that if you crossed her path the wrong way, your life could change overnight, for the worse. One sunny afternoon, Rose was walking through the village road, her face stern and unfriendly. As she approached a bend, she saw a young lady walking in her direction. The lady's name was Anne, a respectful and cheerful girl known for her kindness. As they crossed paths, Rose stopped suddenly and turned to Anne. Her voice was sharp and filled with anger. "You! Why didn't you greet me?" Rose shouted. Anne paused, confused. "Ma, I greeted you just now. Maybe you didn't hear me," she replied politely, but Rose wasn't interested in the explanation. Her heart was already filled with darkness, and she was looking for someone to pour it on. "So because I don't have a husband or children, you now look down on me?" Rose snapped. "You think I'm nothing in this town, right? You use style to mock me. I will show you. Since I've become too small to be noticed, don't worry, we shall see." Anne tried to calm her. "Ma, I'm sorry. Please, it wasn't like that. I didn't mean to offend you." But Rose had made up her mind. Deep inside, her wicked powers were already at work. She had chosen Anne as her next target. In her heart, she whispered to herself, "I will deal with you, Anne. You will regret this day." And from that moment, Rose the Witch began to plot something terrible against the innocent Anne. After Rose the Witch threatened Anne on the road, Anne rushed home with a troubled heart. She was confused and afraid, her mind playing the words of the angry widow over and over again. As she stepped into their small compound, she met her mother, a quiet but powerful woman who had always protected her from harm. "Mama," Anne said, still breathing heavily, "something strange happened today." She sat down and began to narrate everything that happened between her and Rose, the greeting, the accusations, the threats, and how Rose had vowed to deal with her. Her mother listened silently, not looking too surprised. When Anne finished, her mother smiled coldly and stood up slowly from her wooden chair. "So, Rose threatened you?" she said calmly. Anne nodded. Her mother turned to her with a different look in her eyes, one that Anne had never seen before. "Let me tell you something, my daughter," she began, her voice strong and deep. "Rose has no idea who she's playing with. She thinks she's the only one who walks in the night. She doesn't know that the same darkness she hides in, I know it even better. The evil powers she depends on, I was trained in them long before she even understood who she was." Anne was surprised. "Mama, what do you mean?" she asked, her eyes wide. "What darkness? What powers? What are you talking about?" Her mother smiled again. "You see, my child, I left that life a long time ago when I gave birth to you. I chose to use my powers only to protect and not to destroy. But it seems like Rose wants to bring me out of retirement." She walked to the window, staring into the sky. "If Rose thinks she can harm you and go free, then she doesn't know the kind of mother you have. If she brings a dance to the village square, I will dance it better. If she brings fire, I will show her thunder. And if she dares to attack you, she will not live to tell the story." Anne was shocked. "Mama, you mean you're also a witch?" Her mother turned and looked at her gently. "I am not just a witch, Anne, I am a mother witch. I only fight when someone touches what is mine, and now that she has touched you, the war has begun." Anne was still confused but felt a strange sense of peace. Her mother's words were strong, and they gave her courage. Though she didn't fully understand everything, one thing was clear: her mother would never let anything happen to her. Go and rest, her mother said. This battle is not for you. It's between me and Rose, and trust me, I will end it. Days passed and Anne returned to her normal life, though she still kept her distance from Rose. She tried to move on and forget about the encounter, trusting her mother's promise. Then one evening, something beautiful happened. A wealthy and handsome man named Leo came into the village. He had heard of Anne's beauty and gentle heart, and he wanted to marry her. When he met her, he fell in love instantly. Leo was kind, respectful, and well-spoken. He brought gifts and came with good intentions. Anne was shy at first, but over time her heart warmed toward him. When Leo visited their home officially to declare his intentions, Anne's mother welcomed him warmly. She watched him closely, checking his heart and his energy. When she was satisfied, she gave him her blessings. You may bring your people for the traditional marriage, she said. But I warn you, Anne is my only daughter. If you take her as your wife, make sure you love her, protect her, and never allow her to suffer. Leo bowed slightly and said, Mama, I promise with all my heart, Anne will be like a queen in my house. She will never lack anything. Anne's mother nodded. Good. Then go and prepare. We are ready to receive you. As the days rolled by, wedding preparations began. There was joy in the air. Anne smiled more. She felt safe, loved, and protected, not just by Leo, but also by the powerful woman she called mother. But somewhere deep in the forest, Rose the witch heard the news, and her jealousy grew darker. She whispered to the wind, Anne thinks she has escaped, but I am still watching. When the news reached Rose that a wealthy man had come to marry Anne, her heart burned with hatred and jealousy. She couldn't believe it. How could a girl like Anne, who once crossed her path, now be receiving so much love and blessings? Rose sat alone in her small dark hut, her eyes filled with bitterness. Her heart was full of evil thoughts. She kept whispering to herself, I must stop this wedding. Anne cannot marry that man. She will not live to wear a wedding dress. She sat in silence for hours, thinking and thinking, until finally, a wicked idea crept into her mind. She smiled, her teeth showing through her dry lips. Yes, she said, I will send a witch rat to her. That rat will molest her in the night, and by morning she will be dead. Let me see how she will get married inside a coffin. With her decision made, Rose set to work, whispering dark incantations and calling upon her evil spirits. She summoned a spiritual rat, one trained for wicked assignments. That night, she sent the rat to Anne's room, expecting it to destroy her. But what Rose didn't know was that she was not the only one awake that night. Far across the village, Anne's mother sat by a candlelight, her eyes closed in deep concentration. She had already seen everything through her mystical mirror. She knew Rose's plan and was ready. She dares to touch my child again? She said quietly. Let us see who truly rules the night. Tonight, Rose will learn that there are mothers, and then there are mother witches. That same night, while Rose was sleeping in her hut, dreaming of hearing the bad news of Anne's death, a strange wind blew into her room. Then suddenly, another rat appeared, much larger and darker than the one she had sent. This rat was not ordinary. It had been sent by Anne's mother, blessed with powers stronger than Rose's imagination. Before Rose could open her eyes fully, the rat jumped on her and did to her exactly what she had planned for Anne. She screamed once, but no one heard her. Before dawn, Rose was gone. She died silently in her sleep, just as she had wished it for someone else. By morning, the news of her sudden and mysterious death had spread across the entire village. People gathered outside her hut, whispering and shaking their heads. God has finally judged her, an old man said. She brought pain to many people in this village, another woman added. She was feared, not loved. Maybe it's for the best. Nobody mourned Rose. The village was relieved. A dark cloud had been lifted. Meanwhile, Anne and Leo's wedding took place in grand style. Friends, families, and villagers came from far and wide to celebrate with them. The day was filled with joy, music, food, and dancing. Anne wore a beautiful gown, and Leo could not take his eyes off her. During the celebration, Anne's mother sat quietly, smiling with pride. She had fought a silent battle and won. Her daughter was safe. Her daughter was happy. After the wedding, Leo took Anne to the city, where they started a new life together. He showered her with love, respect, and care. They did everything together, and their love grew stronger every single day. They lived peacefully, and their story became a testimony. A reminder that evil can never overcome good, and that no matter how dark the night is, morning will always come. Moral lessons. 1. Jealousy and wickedness lead to destruction. 2. Evil plans always return to the sender. 3. A mother's love and protection is powerful. 4. Those who do good will always find happiness and favor. 5. No matter how strong evil appears, light will always win in the end. Thank you for listening to this powerful story. I hope it inspired you and made you smile. If you enjoyed this tale, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Your support means everything to me. Stick with me for more stories filled with wisdom, mystery, and unforgettable lessons. Thank you, and God bless you.